Sarah slammed the laptop shut, her heart pounding like a drum in a silent room. The email's words burned into her mind. I know what you did last summer, and I'll make sure everyone else does too. It was signed anonymous. But the phrasing, the intimate details, it could only be from her. She paced her cramped Brooklyn apartment, the city noise outside a distant hum compared to the storm inside her head. Sarah had built her life here, escaping the suffocating expectations of her conservative family in Texas. As a freelance writer, she'd finally landed a gig at Echo magazine, a progressive outlet that championed LGBTQ voices. But now this threat loomed, threatening to unravel everything. Why now? After 2 years of silence, why would Elena resurface like this? Elena. The name alone sent a shiver down Sarah's spine. They'd met in college, both studying journalism at NYU. Elena was bold, charismatic, the kind of woman who commanded a room with a single glance. Sarah, quieter and more introspective, had been drawn to her like a moth to a flame. Their relationship started as a secret fling, hidden from prying eyes, but it quickly deepened into something intense and all-consuming. First, it was exhilarating. Stolen kisses in the library stacks, late-night debates about ethics in media, dreams of changing the world together. But Elena's passion turned possessive. She critiqued Sarah's writing harshly, claiming it was for her own good. You need to toughen up, she'd say, her voice laced with concern that masked control. Sarah ignored the red flags, convincing herself it was love. The breaking point came during their senior year. Sarah had written a personal essay about coming out to her family, pouring her soul into it. Elena read it and dismissed it as sentimental drivel. Worse, she submitted her own version to a contest under Sarah's name, altering key details to make it more marketable. When it won, Elena took credit in private, saying, "See, I fixed it for you." Sarah confronted her, tears streaming down her face. "That's not fixing. That's stealing my voice." Elena laughed it off, but the damage was done. Sarah ended things that night, packing her bags and moving to a friend's couch. She graduated, cut ties, and threw herself into her career, vowing never to let anyone control her again. Now, years later, that vow was being tested. The email referenced that very essay, quoting lines only Elena could know. Sarah's hands trembled as she reopened her laptop. She had to respond. But how? Ignore it? Fight back? The cursor blinked mockingly. Her phone buzzed, her editor at Echo. "Sarah, great pitch on the piece about queer representation in media. Let's meet tomorrow to discuss." The timing was uncanny. Sarah's stomach twisted. Was this connected? She decided to dig. Logging into her old college email, she searched for any trace of Elena. There she was, linked to a profile on LinkedIn. Elena Ramirez, senior editor at Echo magazine. Sarah's blood ran cold. How had she missed this? Echo had hired her remotely. She'd never met the team in person. The realization hit like a freight train. Elena wasn't just back. She was her boss. The anonymous threat was a power play, a way to reassert control. Sarah's mind raced. Should she quit? Expose her? Or play along and turn the tables? That night, sleep evaded her. Memories flooded back. Elena's manipulative whispers, the way she'd isolate Sarah from friends, making her doubt her own instincts. "You're nothing without me," she'd said once, half joking, half serious. Sarah had believed it then, but not now. Morning came with a resolve. She dressed sharply, grabbed her notebook, and headed to the Echo offices in Manhattan. The subway ride felt eternal, each stop amplifying her anxiety. What if Elena denied everything? What if this ruined her career? Arriving at the sleek building, Sarah signed in and took the elevator up. The office buzzed with creative energy, writers typing furiously, editors in heated discussions. She was directed to a conference room where Elena waited, smiling as if nothing had happened. "Sarah, it's been too long," Elena said, extending a hand. Her eyes sparkled with that familiar intensity. Sarah forced a smile, shaking her hand. "Indeed. Let's get to work." Inside, her thoughts screamed. This was the start of a dangerous game, one where every word could be a weapon. As they dove into the pitch, Elena's feedback was sharp, echoing their past. "This lacks edge. Push harder on the personal angle. Sarah nodded, but her mind plotted. She wouldn't be controlled again. Not this time. The meeting ended with Elena suggesting drinks after work. To catch up, she said innocently. Sarah agreed, knowing it was a trap. But traps could be flipped. Back in Brooklyn, Sarah confided in her roommate, Mia, a fellow queer writer who'd escaped a similar toxic relationship. She's my editor? That's messed up, Mia said, hugging her. You have to report this. But Sarah hesitated. Reporting meant admitting vulnerability, risking her job in an industry where connections were everything. Plus, Elena was respected. Who would believe her? That evening at the bar, Elena ordered their old favorite drinks. You've come far, she said, toasting. I'm proud. Sarah sipped, steeling herself. Why the email, Elena? Elena's face flickered surprise, then amusement. Straight to the point. I like that. The confession came slowly. Elena admitted sending it, claiming it was a wake-up call to make Sarah stronger. You were always too soft. I helped you before, I can again. Sarah's anger boiled. Helped? You stole my work. Elena leaned in. And look where it got you. Success. The argument escalated, voices rising. Sarah stood to leave, but Elena grabbed her arm. Don't walk away. We can be great together. Sarah yanked free. No. We're done. She stormed out, heart racing. But this was just the beginning. Elena's influence at Echo could destroy her. What next? The next day, Sarah arrived at work with a plan. She'd document everything, emails, meetings, any hint of harassment. But Elena was clever. She wouldn't leave a trail. In the office, colleagues greeted her warmly. Echo was a haven for progressive minds, but beneath the surface, power dynamics lurked. Sarah's piece on queer representation was gaining traction, but Elena assigned her a co-writer. Herself. We'll collaborate, Elena announced in a team meeting. Sarah's jaw clenched. This was control disguised as mentorship. During their first session, Elena dominated, rewriting sections without input. Trust me, she said, echoing the past. Sarah pushed back. This is my story. My voice. Elena smiled thinly. Our story now. Frustration mounted. Sarah confided in her family via a tense video call. Her mother, still grappling with Sarah's coming out, listened half-heartedly. Just do your job, dear. Don't rock the boat. Her father's voice boomed in the background. We raised you better than to get involved in drama. The call ended with Sarah feeling more isolated. Family pressure weighed heavy. They expected success, not scandal. Society's gaze added fuel. In Brooklyn's queer community, Elena was an icon, outspoken advocate, award-winning editor. Accusing her could label Sarah as bitter or unstable. That night, Mia suggested therapy. You need to process this trauma. Sarah agreed, booking a session. The therapist, Dr. Hayes, listened as Sarah poured out her story. It's classic manipulation, Dr. Hayes said. But reclaiming your power starts with boundaries. Empowered, Sarah confronted Elena privately. Stop the games, or I'll go to HR. Elena laughed. With what proof? That email was from a burner account. Sarah's bluff faltered. She needed evidence. Digging deeper, she hacked into old shared drives from college. Ethically gray but desperate times. There, she found drafts of her essay with Elena's edits, timestamps proving theft. Triumphant, Sarah printed them. But was this enough? Exposing Elena could backfire, painting Sarah as vengeful. Meanwhile, Elena escalated. She delayed Sarah's payments, citing revisions needed. Colleagues whispered. Sarah's reputation suffered. A betrayal came from an unexpected source. Mia, under pressure from her own career, mentioned Sarah's plight to a mutual friend, who told Elena. Elena cornered Sarah. Gossiping? That's low. Sarah felt the sting. You turned my friend against me? No, Elena said. You did by being paranoid. The damage was done. Mia apologized profusely, but trust cracked. Sarah's inner conflict raged. Was she overreacting? Or fighting for justice? She decided to submit the evidence anonymously to Echo's board. But anonymity mirrored Elena's tactics. Was she becoming her? The submission went through. Days later, an investigation launched. Elena was suspended pending review. Victory tasted bitter. Colleagues sided with Elena, calling it a witch hunt. Sarah faced isolation. Her family called furious. This is on the news? What will people think? Social media erupted. Hashtags like Support Elena trended, painting Sarah as the villain. The pressure mounted. Sarah questioned her choices. Was exposing the truth worth the cost? In therapy, Dr. Hayes challenged her. What's the price of silence? Sarah pondered. Silence had cost her self-respect before. No more. But as the investigation deepened, a twist emerged. Elena claimed Sarah had consented to the edits, producing forged emails. Sarah's world spun. How far would Elena go? She rallied, gathering witnesses from college. One friend, Lisa, agreed to testify. Elena was always controlling. The hearing approached. Sarah prepared, knowing this could end her career, or Elena's. On the eve, Elena texted, "Let's settle privately. For old time's sake." Sarah ignored it. The battle was on. The hearing room at Echo's headquarters felt like a courtroom, with board members as judges. Sarah sat rigidly, her evidence folder clutched tightly. Elena, across the table, looked composed, her lawyer by her side. The proceedings began. Sarah presented her case. The stolen essay, the anonymous email traced via IP logs she'd hired a PI for, the pattern of manipulation. Elena's lawyer countered. Consensual collaboration. Ms. Thompson is fabricating drama for attention. Witnesses testified. Lisa corroborated Sarah's story, detailing Elena's possessiveness. But another alum, swayed by Elena, claimed it was mutual. The board deliberated. Hours felt like days. Finally, they ruled. Insufficient evidence for theft, but Elena's email violated policy. She was demoted, not fired. Sarah felt hollow. Justice half-served. Elena approached post-hearing. You won nothing. I'll rebuild. Sarah met her gaze. And I'll keep writing my way. Back home, the fallout hit. Family disowned her temporarily. You've shamed us, her mother said. Society's judgment stung. Online trolls harassed her, questioning her sexuality as motive. Jealous ex stirring trouble. In the queer community, divisions formed. Some hailed Sarah as a hero against abuse. Others saw her as disrupting unity. Mia's betrayal lingered. They talked it out, but scars remained. I was scared, Mia admitted. Elena's influence is everywhere. Sarah forgave, but trust was tentative. Her writing suffered. The queer representation piece, now solo, felt tainted. She poured her pain into it, exploring power imbalances in relationships. Submitting it, she awaited feedback. The new editor praised it. Raw and honest. Publication brought acclaim and backlash. Elena penned a rebuttal op-ed, subtly accusing Sarah of exaggeration. The cycle continued. Sarah debated responding, but chose silence. Let her work speak. Personal growth emerged. Therapy helped unpack trauma. You're not defined by her, Dr. Hayes said. Sarah dated tentatively, meeting Emma at a book reading. Emma was kind, supportive, opposite of Elena. But shadows loomed. Emma's family, conservative like Sarah's, added pressure. Hide us? Emma asked. Sarah refused. No more secrets. Their relationship blossomed, but tested when Emma's parents discovered. Ultimatums flew. Choose family or Sarah. Emma wavered, echoing Sarah's past dilemmas. I love you, but... Sarah's heart ached. Was love always a trade-off? She supported Emma, but set boundaries. Choose what's right for you. Emma chose her, cutting family ties temporarily. The cost, emotional toll. Sarah reflected on her journey, from controlled to controller of her narrative. But Elena wasn't done. She launched a podcast subtly shading Sarah's story. Listeners divided. Some empathized with Elena's redemption arc. Sarah tuned out, focusing on a book deal, her memoir. Writing it unearthed deep wounds. Chapters on family rejection, societal bias, ethical gray areas. Her editor, ironically a woman, pushed for authenticity. Dig deeper. Sarah did, confronting Malfwan Duk. Was hacking the drives wrong? Anonymity hypocritical? The book neared completion. Launch loomed, promising exposure. But on release eve, Elena sued for defamation. The lawsuit hit headlines. Sarah's world upended again. Legal fees drained savings. Support waned as doubt crept in. Emma stood by her. We'll fight. The trial began, a public spectacle. Evidence revisited. Sarah testified, voice steady. This is about truth, not revenge. Elena's tears swayed some. I loved her. She twisted it. The jury deliberated. Verdict. In Sarah's favor. Elena to pay damages. Relief washed over. But victory's price. Fractured community, lost friends. Sarah pondered. Was it worth it? Post-trial, Sarah's life shifted. The book soared, becoming a bestseller among LGBTQ readers. Interviews flooded in, praising her courage. But acclaim brought scrutiny. Reporters dug into her past, questioning motives. Was it really abuse or mutual toxicity? Sarah defended in podcasts. Power imbalance matters. I was young, vulnerable. Family reached out tentatively. Her sister called. Mom's reading your book. She's thinking. Reconciliation hinted, but slow. Holidays remained tense, debates over acceptance. Society evolved slightly. Echo implemented anti-harassment policies, crediting the scandal. Elena faded from spotlight, but rumors of her comeback persisted. Sarah and Emma moved in together, building a life. But Emma's family rift weighed. I miss them, Emma confessed. Sarah empathized. Give time. A crisis hit when Emma's mother fell ill. Emma returned home, facing ultimatums again. Leave her or no support, they said. Emma, torn, confided in Sarah. What if I lose you both? Sarah's advice. Follow your heart, but don't compromise who you are. Emma chose family, temporarily needing space. The breakup devastated Sarah. Alone again, she channeled pain into writing. A new story. Women navigating love amid societal chains. Therapy intensified. Loss is part of growth, Dr. Hayes said. Sarah volunteered at queer youth centers, mentoring. Seeing young women struggle mirrored her past. One mentee, Jamie, shared a controlling relationship. Sarah advised, set boundaries early. Empowerment rippled. But internal conflict persisted. Had she been too harsh on Elena? Forgiveness eluded. A chance encounter at a conference. Elena approached. Congrats on the book. Sarah wary. Thanks. Elena softer. I was wrong. Therapy helped me see. Apology? Sarah listened. Elena admitted faults, seeking amends. Skeptical, Sarah nodded. Actions over words. They parted neutrally. Seeds of closure? Sarah's career peaked. A TV adaptation offer for her book. But with success, imposter syndrome struck. Did I earn this or from drama? Emma returned, apologetic. I chose wrong. Can we try? Sarah hesitated. Trust rebuilt slowly. Family breakthrough. Parents visited Brooklyn. Awkward dinner but honest talks. We were scared, her father admitted. Didn't understand. Understanding dawned. Bridges mended partially. Society's progress. Pride events featured her story, sparking dialogues on abuse in queer spaces. Yet, backlash from traditionalists. Protests at her readings calling it anti-family. Sarah stood firm. Truth isn't always comfortable. A new threat. An anonymous blog accused her of plagiarism, echoing Elena's tactics. Investigation revealed a disgruntled ex-colleague, but damage done. Sales dipped briefly. Resilience kicked in. Sarah countered with facts, regaining ground. Personal awakening. She realized control wasn't just Elena's. She'd internalized it, doubting herself. Letting go, she embraced vulnerability. With Emma they committed, planning a future. But a final twist. Elena's memoir announced, countering Sarah's narrative. Public pitted against each other again. Sarah chose not to engage. My truth stands. The cycle broke? Or paused? As Elena's book hit shelves, comparisons flooded media. Reviews called it a dueling perspective, fueling debates. Sarah read it in one sitting, anger mixing with pity. Elena portrayed herself as victim, Sarah as aggressor. Interviews escalated. On a talk show, Sarah said, "Narratives differ, but facts don't." Public opinion split. Supporters rallied Team Sarah, others Elena truth. Community fractured deeper. Friends chose sides, Mia stuck with Sarah. Family wavered again. Maybe compromise? Her mother suggested. Sarah refused. Compromise erodes integrity. Legal advice. No grounds for another suit. Instead, Sarah wrote an essay, The Cost of Speaking Out. It went viral, emphasizing ethical dilemmas in whistleblowing. Mentoring expanded. Jamie broke free from her toxic partner, crediting Sarah. Inspiration flowed. Romantically, Emma proposed. Sarah accepted, joy amid chaos. Wedding planning brought family together. Parents attended, tentative but present. Societies shift. Laws protecting against workplace harassment strengthened, partly from her case. But personal toll. Anxiety attacks from stress. Therapy helped manage. A reconciliation attempt with Elena via mutual friend. They met for coffee. Elena tearful. I projected my insecurities. Sarah listened, offering tentative forgiveness. We both paid prices. Closure? Perhaps. Sarah's next project. A novel exploring redemption. Writing healed. But a betrayal surfaced. Emma confessed a brief affair during their break, with a woman from her past. Devastation hit. Why now? Emma, fear of commitment. Trust shattered. Sarah questioned everything. Confrontation led to therapy together. Can we rebuild? Effort paid off slowly. Family supported. Love isn't perfect, her sister said. Society's mirror. Media sensationalized their story, adding pressure. Sarah withdrew briefly, focusing inward. Awakening. She realized strength and vulnerability. Returning stronger, she advocated louder. Elena's book flopped. Truth prevailed. Sarah's legacy grew. But questions lingered. At what cost? Years passed, Sarah's influence enduring. Her novel became a staple in queer literature courses, sparking discussions on power and ethics. With Emma, marriage thrived, adopting a child. Family fully embraced, holidays warm. Mentoring evolved into a foundation, helping countless women. Elena faded, reportedly in therapy, living quietly. Sarah reflected on the journey, betrayals, sacrifices, awakenings. The prices paid, lost friends, family rifts, career hurdles. But gains, self-respect, community impact, love. In a final interview, she pondered aloud. Was exposing the truth, despite the chaos and pain it unleashed, the right choice? Or did it perpetuate a cycle of hurt that could have been avoided through silence?